Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm thinking that Reverend really has his work cut out for him. That's Schneider's Reverend. Good morning. The Finance Committee of the Forest Preserve District will come to order. Would Secretary please call the roll?
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you. The Secretary has informed me that there's a quorum present and we can conduct the business of our committee. Are there any changes to the agenda?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, there was an errata that was distributed, page 3, 11 FINA 0062, Waste Management. The headquarters is stricken from Louisville, Kentucky to Downers Grove, Illinois, and that was distributed.
Thank you. Any members have any changes? There being none, Chair recognizes Commissioner Schneider for the purpose of moving the disbursements.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Move disbursements beginning with item 11 FINA 0045, concluding with item 11 FINA 0062.
Is there a second? Second by Mr. Tobolski. Any questions?
Question.
Comments? Commissioner Gorman.
On autumn tree care, 11 Finance 0054. I'm not sure if there was talk that there was a situation where the trees are not going to be as aggressively cut down, the dead trees. Is that true? Or and then there's prevailing wage issues with the tree companies that actually don't have the appropriate title to have prevailing wage. Are you guys familiar with that issue? Or
So I am, Commissioner, yes, I am familiar with the prevailing wage issue. It's something we are looking at. The challenge for us is that based on the current ordinance for the county on that issue of prevailing wage, our costs would go up significantly.
Right.
And so we're assessing what the actual numbers would be so we could come back and make a case to maybe do things a little differently with certain types of restoration work, which we think are different than construction or those types of jobs.
Okay,
but there is a concern there that it could cost us a lot more, which means we would be able to do less.
right, because one of the tree company or the landscape companies did notify my office, and I don't have the letter in front of me, but it was to the idea that the people that perform the work aren't part of a union,
Right.
and whatnot, so it was difficult for them to make do on their bids and what had to be completed. And then from what I understood too in the letter was that there was going to be less cutting down of the dead trees because of the budget.
In effect, it would limit the amount of work that we could do because we obviously have a finite amount of money to work with, so it would cost us more, which means we'd have to do less.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. Thank you.
Commissioner Silvestri.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Don't the bids that are set or let out specify that contractors must comply with Illinois labor laws, including the prevailing wage law?
They do. I think what's happened is that more recently this body passed an ordinance that did not, in the past, did not cover issues around restoration work. It covered everything else, any kind of construction or, roadways or whatever we did. But we passed an ordinance that then covered additional work, including restoration work, and that is not as restrictive in the Illinois codes for that type of work. So we are starting to deal with this issue now. We're starting to put some numbers together to figure out what the real cost would be to us and what it means for our workload. But it is a recent change. But
are tree cutters and part of the restoration program subject to the Prevailing Wage Act?
It depends on the type of work. If it were sort of capital improvement type work, you're planting new trees, you're building a new area, then it has been. But if you're just talking about clearing out brush and doing prescribed burns, it has not been in the past.
But is that the complaint, that people that are doing the prescribed burns and clearing brush are not being, because they're not paid at all, are they? I mean, they're volunteers.
Well, we actually have volunteers to do some of that work for us, absolutely. But we pay contractors to do some of that work, and a lot of our staff obviously do a lot of that work.
So the issue is whether the outside contractors are subject to the prevailing wage
for that type of work.
And we don't have an answer to that question.
Well, that's the current ordinance says we have to meet prevailing wage. The problem is that that's not been the case up until recently, and it will obviously cost us more to do the same work.
But have the lawyers looked at the case
We're looking
law?
at it now.
Oh, you're still doing it. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Commissioner Daley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Arnold, you mentioned about clearing out brush volunteers. Do we ever work with SWAP and bringing individuals who are on, needless to say, on the SWAP program to come out and do restoration or in areas of
We
the
do
cleanup?
use SWAP extensively. We use them mostly for not so much the restoration work, but for roadside cleaning and, you know, areas where we obviously have need for trash cleanup and that sort of thing. I don't know that we use them that much for restoration work because we actually like to train people and
Okay,
have a certain
okay.
higher level of skill.
But we do use them in other
Absolutely.
areas. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Absolutely.
Commissioner Collins?
Your microphone, Commissioner?
Next door multimedia in Oak Park, can you answer that for me? I don't know the group or really haven't heard of, although the contract was entered into in 10. So it's at the bottom. It's on page 2. Next door multimedia. Apparently they redesigned our website.
Yes, Commissioner.
Familiar with them?
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely. So this is the company that we use to as you know, we have a brand new website. Which went online several months ago.
I never heard of them. He's never heard of them.
Oh.
We both Oak Park, so I was just wondering who are they?
They're a local company.
And it
They're-
says they're from Oak Park. You know. Was it a bid?
Yeah, we bid out the work. This is a consultant we brought on board to do the
But did you do it because you weren't here, weren't you? when
Well,
this
before
happened?
I got here,
Yeah,
the Forest
okay.
Preserve did it. Yes, I mean.
Okay.
I'm benefiting from having a new website, but yeah, yeah. And if you want more, actually, I could have Steve Mayberry, who's could speak to it.
Yeah,
and who's
Steve.
involved with it.
Steve Mayberry, Public Information Officer. This was a bid. In fact, we had about 8 or 9 vendors with the original bid. As you may or may not know, we have a brand new website up. We are still working on it with multimedia. Excuse me. Their offices are actually located on Harlem Avenue, just, I'm going to mess this up a little bit, just north of Chicago Avenue. That's really what I know about them in particular.
Okay. All right. They are in Sylvester's district.
Yes.
Just for the record, that was approved on November 4th. Thank you. So, Commissioner Schneider?
Mr. Chairman, I understand that item number 62 is as amended, so I'd like to move approval, revise my motion to move approval of all items and item 11 FINA 0062 as amended.
Commissioner Kowalski does a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay.
Mr.
Opinion
Chairman.
of the chair, motion carries. Commissioner Daley.
Please record me as voting present on 11 FINA 0060.
So noted. Despite the
061.
division of the question,
0061.
motion carries. Committee reports, litigation, Commissioner.
Move
So
approval of item 11, FINA 0063, litigation committee report of April 7th.
Is there a second? Second by Mr. Tobolski. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. In opinion of the chair, the motion carries. Division?
I'm sorry, your microphone, Commissioner. And Chairman, that was the May 4th meeting. Commissioner Silvestri's motion was for the May 4th.
The Shackman on items 6 and 7.
I'm sorry.
006,
division?
0063. Yeah.
You're voting no? No?
Yes.
So noted. Despite the division of the question, the motion carries. Bid reports, Commissioner Topolsky, or Commissioner Reyes? He's not here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Move to approve items number 11 FINA 0064 and 11 FINA 0065.
Is there a second? Commissioner Silvestri seconds. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. In the opinion of the chair, the motion carries. Revenue report, Mr. Topolsky.
Move to receive and file the revenue report, item number 11, FIN 0066.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Silvestri. Leave to receive a report from our CFO, Mr. Kemp.
Leave.
What?
There you go.
To the record, please note that Commissioner Sufferton has joined us.
Marlo Kemp, Chief Financial Officer. For the month ending April 30th, 2011, we have received $27,876,542 in revenues. This is more than we anticipated, due mainly to the property tax issue that I had mentioned in our previous meeting. So because we have now received some of 2010's property tax revenue a little bit late, April has come and we have received property tax revenue, and that has brought us over greater than the required amount, and that is what's driving our relative increase in overall revenues. We expect that that increase in property tax revenues will carry out through the remainder of the year. On the expense side, we anticipated $19 million in spend. Up to date, we have spent around $9.5 million. That is, again, kind of anticipated because our season is now ramping up in earnest. With the hot weather, we expect to see more spending on areas of maintaining the preserves, and we have now hired our seasonal laborers, and we will start seeing that that impact these expense numbers as well. So we do believe that we are tracking as expected.
Thank you. Any questions of CFO? The question is, shall the finance revenue report be received and filed? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. In the opinion of the chair, motion carries. Is there any further business come before the committee? There being none, Mr. Silvestri moves that we stand adjournment. Second by Commissioner Daly. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. In the opinion of the chair, motion carries. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.